Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for December 28th. December 28th is the 362nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 363rd in leap years, with 3 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is sentimental. Sentimental is an adjective that means pertaining to or characterized by one's feeling related to one's own experience, as in a sentimental attachment or a sentimental favorite. Maybe she saves her wedding gown for sentimental reasons, or he gets sentimental when he thinks about his hometown. Sentimental comes to us through Middle English, Old French, and ultimately from medieval Latin. First known use is in the 1300s, sentimental. And with that, John C. Calhoun was, among other things, the 7th Vice President of the United States when John Quincy Adams was president. Toward the end of their second term, Mr. Calhoun became the first Vice President of the United States to resign his position. Oh my, what happened? As I can gather, it appears that Mr. Calhoun had a strong personality and had issues with various people, but it wasn't a fight. He didn't get kicked out. He had been elected as the senator for South Carolina, and just a few months shy of the end of his second term, he resigned as VP to fill that position. Righty. Iowa was admitted as the 29th U.S. state on December 28, 1846. Iowa was part of that original huge area that the French had claimed in 1862 and named Louisiana. The United States then acquired a good portion of that huge area in the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. Iowa's nickname is the Hawkeye State. Its capital and largest city is Des Moines. Iowa is right near the middle in area at 26th largest, and it is 31st most populous. Iowa gets its name from the Iowa people who were part of the Sioux Nation. Iowa's state bird is the eastern goldfinch. The state flower is the prairie rose, which is a little wild rose, pretty little thing. Their state tree is the bur oak, and that's the oak tree that has those great big giant acorns, bigger than a golf ball. And Iowa even has a state rock, which is the geode. This is the birthday of 28th U.S. President Woodrow Wilson, born December 28, 1856. 28th president born on the 28th. How about that? Did you know that Woodrow Wilson served as president of Princeton University and as governor of New Jersey before becoming president of the United States? Woodrow Wilson was a proponent of progressivism, and he had a lot to do with the League of Nations. He served 2 terms as president, lived to the age of 67. Woodrow Wilson. The first municipally owned streetcars took to the streets in San Francisco on December 28, 1912. And of course, I can't help but be reminded of Tony Bennett singing "Where Little Cable Cars Climb Halfway to the Stars," and I almost sang it to you right now, but not today. We'll talk about that one in a few minutes, though. All right. Today's song is "I Left My Heart in San Francisco." This one was written in 1953 by George Corey and Douglas Cross for operatic contralto Clara May Turner. She would often sing it as an encore, but never got around to recording it. Tony Bennett's accompanist happened to be friends with the composers, who were a couple of fellows originally from San Francisco, living and working in New York. Tony Bennett sang "I Left My Heart in San Francisco" for the first time in San Francisco, and of course the audience loved it. Interestingly, when Tony Bennett recorded this song, it was a B-side to one called "Once Upon a Time." "I Left My Heart in San Francisco" became Tony Bennett's signature song, as well as one of the official anthems for the city of San Francisco. In 2018, it was selected for preservation in the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally historically or artistically significant. I Left My Heart in San Francisco by Tony Bennett. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.